Is Barry Allen the Peter Parker of the DC universe?
And that's where we'll start. Hey, welcome to the Unnamed Comics Podcast. I'm Alex.
Cisco.
And this week, we're back. We're back after 3 weeks of not doing this between you moving and me
Yeah,
being out of town. We just ended up not having 2 episodes. But now, we're going to
we're
talk
back.
about all the shit that happened while we were gone. It's very
Yeah,
excited. But, like, first off, let's start. Is Barry Allen the Peter Parker of the DC Universe? Go ahead.
I think so. I
Yeah?
think he is.
With the tragedy, just the constant tragedy, and
It's
like
the
his, but he's
constant
upbeat.
shit piling on him.
I kind of agree with you. Like it's an offhand weird comment that you made, but it's
It's
kind of
it,
it's
it,
kind
it
of
has a
true.
ring of truth.
It has a ring of truth. It's kind of like yeah, he's constantly getting fucked.
Yeah, because
He's
he was
constantly
happy.
fucking stuff up.
He was happy for a bit and then sacrificed himself. Right?
Yeah,
Came back. No, no, no. Even before that, he went to the future, snapped Eobard Thawne's head,
went to court for it
went to court for it, left Iris in the 21st century to come back to the 21st century
just to die.
just to die, came back, was ready to suicide again.
His kids hate him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's,
Um,
it's crazy.
and then it's like there's a different version of his kids coming from the future every time. Like one iteration loves him, then the next hates him, and then they love him again, then
Yeah,
they hate him again, and then
he'll get lost in time again or some shit.
Wally West.
Yeah,
Um, and then there's the whole like I'm gonna sacrifice myself ploy, which is like been done a lot with Barry Allen.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then Flashpoint, he goes back in time to save his mom, and then he has to go back in time to then
Let his mom die.
let his mom
Stop
die.
himself from saving his mom. Watch that happen again. How many times has Barry Allen seen his mom die? I think it's at least four.
It's at least four in the
It's
comics,
gotta be,
and
right?
then in the CW show that was like once a season.
Yeah, once a season he goes back to that moment.
Yeah, Barry
Yeah.
Allen is the Peter Parker of the DC universe. But
Yeah.
even then, he still can't get on to the shit piling that happens in Peter Parker's life.
Peter Parker's life is a shitstorm. A pure
And
shitstorm. Uh,
this is actually another great segue to, what has been going on the past 2-3 weeks. With I just want to jump off right off
should
from the
we
boat.
should we start with
Instant
the weekly
idea.
poll or should we do that later? You know what? Fuck
Um,
it. Let's do it later.
yeah,
Let's subvert expectations. Let's talk about Dark Ages. Is that where you wanted
and
to go for it?
yeah,
All right, let's do it.
yeah. So Dark Ages came out this past week,
Yeah.
and you know, we've said it once, we've said it. I'm gonna say it again. We're Tom Taylor shows.
I I will fucking suck Tom Taylor's dick as long as he keeps giving me that narrative juice.
And like I am not disappointed in the comic or him, but I am upset that it's not
A canon
like
thing.
a canon
Yeah,
thing.
you had me convinced it was canon too, and I was like, oh, there's no way this is canon.
Yeah, because it's like
The way it starts, I
yeah,
was like, there's 0% chance.
because like you know, DC had a change with Rebirth,
Yeah,
and it was a kind of a decently sized change,
yeah.
and that's because like over the past 10-15 years, it was made so different.
They've had some light reboots in the past couple years, in after the major reboot that they had.
Yeah. And Marvel only had Secret Wars 2, and that was it.
It's time for Marvel to shake some stuff up.
And I thought Dark Ages would be the introduction into all of this. Like
Yeah,
we're time skipping 7 years, and more than that, because in the main universe, Peter doesn't have a daughter.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's who's to say what that means? Like, it's a
yeah,
different universe, right?
yeah. I
It's an
just wish
Elseworlds kind of
that,
thing.
like,
It's a
like I
what if.
said, it was a more of a shakeup to the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Dark Ages issue 6.
Mhm.
How
Sorry,
many
you
issues
cut
is
out for a second.
How many issues is Dark Ages running for?
Let's find out.
I believe it's 6.
I think it is 6-2. I don't know. It just says. Hang on. It's either 6 or 12. I can't remember.
Yeah, but like, at the end of the 6 to 12 issues, I hope it's 12.
If it was
Um,
12, if we get like a year of this, that'd be great.
at the end of it, it goes back to the status quo, but after this time jump.
Yeah. I mean,
Because just in the
yeah.
context of this, we have it was already wild from the jump, Dark Ages.
It's like it went straight crazy like so quickly, and they started killing characters already because that's what Tom Taylor does. He kills characters that you love.
Oh yeah, like cause like who died?
The
Human
Fantastic
Torch.
Four died.
The only one who survived is Miss
Sue
Invisible, the
Storm.
Invisible Woman, and Mr. Fantastic.
Did Mr. Fantastic survive?
Yeah, he didn't go into the earth with them. And it
I'm
was
not
just
doubting you. I'm just I can't
it was
remember
just
why.
it was just Invisible Woman, Thing, and Human Torch.
Oh yeah, and Scarlet Witch and
And
Vision
Vision and Doctor Strange.
put there probably just because they're fairly popular characters right now.
Maybe, but like also
In
it's like
part, it
so
makes
the
sense to kill them off early on too.
and then the threat in Dark Ages, if you haven't read it, is a celestial who was made part of the Earth, who was like hell bent on killing everything.
Yeah.
And so Doctor Strange and Wanda open up a portal.
The Unmaker.
The Unmaker, what a fucking name!
What a name! What a wild thing to
Um,
say.
Wanda and Doctor Strange open up a portal to another universe where there's a perpetual EMP going on.
Yeah.
To stop it, and like they opened it with the plan of closing it real quick, but Thing, Human Torch died off the bat. Wanda got ganked, and then Vision, in a fit of rage, was like, "Not my Wanda!"
Yeah.
And then he got. I don't think he got murdered. I don't think he got killed. I think he got fucked up
He got. I think they could play it either way. I think that's what I
because
remember.
he's on a cover of Dark Ages.
Yeah. I mean, unless I see the Vision get like absolutely flattened, I assume that he's alive.
Yeah,
Usually.
yeah, and then Doctor Strange got stabbed, and
I mean, Doctor Strange got immolated because he was at the center of the Earth, and once
yeah,
what's
Invisible
her
Woman
name
left.
leaves, like he's not gonna
Yeah,
survive.
but now there's just an open portal to this EMP universe, and all of the technology is just gone.
Yeah, and it's open because he died while it was open. That was the whole
Um,
thing. That was like a big point that they made. Like it was like because it was still open while he died, it just stayed open. Which I
and
was like, is that how Doctor Strange powers work?
I mean,
Oh,
it's not.
I'm okay with it. I was just like, that's so
I mean, I
weird.
think I think it's because like it was an actual spell to open the portal to another
Yeah.
universe that you'd have to then do another spell to close it.
It's like he opened a door and like now it's just sitting there.
Yeah, now there's like a door hinge
Sure.
stuck in the door. Um,
I don't know. I was really trying to think of like the ways that they could like make this whole no power thing happen. And
mhm.
like this is like one of the few where it was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no,
That makes sense. Sure,
I'll
why not?
accept it.
An,
And then
an EMP universe? Why not?
yeah, and then it was like, well, who were the first people to sense the Unmaker? It was the
All the
spiders, right?
spiders, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it basically had gave them all a seizure.
Yeah, I think it was like the Peter Parker compared it to when Galactus uh came to Earth. I think that's when he
Yeah, he said it was like
said.
Galactus came to Earth and was already eating the planet.
Yes. It's like the planet has already been gone.
Which is like that is a
Very
pain.
scary. That's terrifying.
Um, and then the telepaths felt it, and then the scientists.
Yeah. Because like they started to be like earthquakes and natural disasters all over the place.
Yeah, and then Moon Girl was the one who had to show it to all the smarty pants.
Moon Girl got there, and like her and Valeria Richards are like talking about it, and then they come in. It's like we know what's going on.
Yeah. Also, side
Wild.
note, Valeria, you know, have you read the Fantastic Four comics?
I know that she's the smartest person,
Yeah,
like or
she's
the second
terrifying.
smartest on the planet.
She is she's all about the end justifies the means.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a terrifying combination of Doctor Doom and her father.
intelligent children are scary.
Yeah.
The- That's just
Yeah.
how it is. They are terrifying.
But then it was like Tony fell out from the sky.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like how they square that circle. You know,
Yeah, and then
it's like, is Tony gonna like have
Apocalypse.
just completely broken lower body and he built the suit and he has to like stay in the suit?
I think so.
That feels right.
Yeah, because like he was like flying,
Yeah, he
flying.
was high. Unless there's like some like metahuman like hanging around.
No, I think
He's
in the
fucked.
preview panel, like he just straight crashed into the building.
Yeah,
But yeah, and then it's Apocalypse who's taken full advantage of this
yeah, which is
because
cool.
it reminded me of something that happened, I think, in one of the X-Men comics where people were questioning what happened to the Bronze Age because it
Yeah,
just abruptly stopped, and he was like, "Oh, it was me." Like what? Like, no, 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 no. I stopped the Bronze Age. I killed everybody. That's what I did.
yeah.
Um, and then we see like his kind of like new cabinet of horsemen. Like, because I can't call it the four horsemen because there's six of them.
The sixth horseman. We
Yeah,
we can just call it what it is. It's six horsemen.
just the horsemen.
Anyone who's dealing with the apocalypse is a horse
Yeah,
person.
yeah. Because in the lineup was She Hulk, Reed Richards,
Sure.
Beast, um, Miles Morales, who is like he has a symbiote set up with him.
That was like very surprising to me. Like, because we knew that Miles Morales was gonna have like something going on, but
And I think Iron Man is in the background.
Iron Man is in the background. Yeah, it's a it's a fucking cool page.
Yeah,
Cool setup.
and I just don't know who that is on the bottom left hand corner.
This
Yeah.
honestly, like, this is gonna be it's stupid and it's wrong. But for a moment, I thought it was like X-23, but obviously that's not X-23.
See, I thought it was Lady Deathstrike because of the sharp nails.
Yeah, this is where my knowledge of Marvel comics fails me.
Yeah, but X-23 is going to be appeared into the Dark Ages along
Yeah,
with like the new Reed Richards Peter Parker.
yeah, fucking okay. Peter Parker with the salt and pepper. That's a solid look, my dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a good looking man. He's
Like
killing it.
he very much looks like the man Reed Richards used to be.
Yeah, I I funny thing about Reed Richards. I was reading or rereading Marvel Zombies,
Mhm.
and it starts off with the Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
So as I was like reading like the like collection for Marvel Zombies, and like watching Reed Richards act like such a sniveling idiot was I don't know why it was very satisfying just knowing that this Reed Richards was going to become a villain.
Um the ultimate one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fucking when that panel where they all kind of like do this and then they turn invisible and they're like, "Oh no, we teleported out." It's like
Yeah.
and then they believe him off of a pen?
Yeah. The people in that building are not smart.
No, and then Reed and everybody's like, "You really believe we teleported out with a pen? What's wrong with
Are
you?"
you that stupid? Like, wow, their brains are like fucking falling out of their heads. It's Marvel Zombies is great. That should be a we should do a zombie themed episode for Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah,
I'm down for
we
that.
could DC all those and all the Marvel zombies. It'd be very
I'm
fun.
down for that.
But not to completely sidetrack. What is your like stretch? I want to see this happen in Dark Ages. Like characters that you want like to show up, even like for like a brief moment.
I mean,
Because I
I
think
feel,
Ant-Man was in there, and he can't change back. He's
oh
giant
yeah,
now.
he's stuck as a
He's
giant.
stuck as giant man.
Oof.
Yeah. Do you think
I
he has
don't
trouble
know.
eating, getting food?
I think he's dead.
You think he's dead already?
I think he's dead already.
Man, that would suck because let me tell you, that seems like just in terms of like a story that I want to see. 7 years along, giant man.
I think I
I'm curious.
if he's not dead already, he is
He's not living his
assuredly
best life.
miserable.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I
Not
want
so
to see
wrong.
the misery.
Yeah, I want to see the misery.
I want to
I
see
don't read
the.
Tom Taylor to be happy all the time. Like,
um,
listen, we know what he's about.
I don't know. I think we're gonna see like all the major characters in this
Yeah,
because, like, I know the majority of the heroes of the Marvel universe aren't affected by this EMP.
they shouldn't be, right?
Um, like the only people who are really affected are the people who have technology-based powers.
I mean, honestly, like Magneto's gonna kill it in this. Like,
Because
bro,
like all the people I'm thinking about, like Cable actually benefits from this
yeah,
because now the techno virus machine is dead.
yeah, but he can't travel through time.
I mean, he was already stuck in the 21st century anyway.
I mean, sure. This kind of like nail in the coffin, though, right?
Yeah. Um, the Iron Man's fucked, but he has his whole steampunk thing going on.
I wonder how much steampunk stuff we're gonna see.
I think a lot.
I hope so. I hope it's like a real thematic kind of deal. I hope we get to see like a kind of a city
Hmm.
with like gas lights and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
You
like
know?
other than like Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Black Panther, but even then, he's not really suffering that much.
I
I think
mean,
the
yeah.
city of Wakanda is suffering as a whole because of like no technology and like they kind of need the technology to mine the vibranium.
Yeah.
Unless they go back to the old ways, the way they did it before.
Which I mean they probably it's been 7 years, right? It's been or
Yeah,
8 years. I can't remember.
it's been
Was it 7 or 8?
7.
7? Like I I can't imagine that solutions haven't been found in 7 years.
Hmm.
Like I think if we were watching it like 2 years, 3 years after, it'd be like, okay,
Things are still in
things are
chaos.
still pretty bad. But 7 years later, like I'd imagine that for the most part, things have settled into like a new status quo of some kind.
Hmm.
Because it's not like it's literally like, hey, no electricity. People lived without electricity for like thousands of years.
You know who's actually really fucked?
Oh,
People in the like sword.
oh shit! I mean, they're dead.
Yeah, yeah, they're dead. They're absolutely dead.
they're they're corpses. Cisco.
Yeah, they're just floating in space.
Sure.
A lot. I mean,
People who were in a bunker underground when this
they're
happened
fucked.
with hermetically sealed doors, they're fucked.
Um,
This is let's
Now
think about all the people who are dead in space.
is this only localized to Earth, or is it
I
like the entire
I'm
universe?
gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at it again. I think it's the entire universe. I think it's spreading from Earth.
Because
Also,
if
no, go
that's
ahead.
the case, any technologically advanced civilization is fucked.
Yeah,
Is Galactus fucked?
the entire planet and beyond. Yeah,
Galactus is fucked.
Galact. uh, I'll say this: when Peter Parker like finds his family okay in that collapsed building,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh
thank
yeah.
thank fucking Christ. I don't need to
I
see
thought you
another
were gonna be
Peter
like
Parker's family is dead thing. Like
again.
I can't. I don't. It's too
A
played out. So
fucking
seeing like that little
again.
bit of hope, a little bit of hope in
Hmm.
like the hellscape, I'm like, okay, okay, we're good. I mean, I knew his daughter survived. I was just like, are we gonna kill off MJ and Aunt May in like the first issue?
No, thank God.
Come on.
Because that also happens in every Elseworlds.
It happens in everything. It's fucking crazy.
Then yeah, anybody traveling in space is fucked.
Yeah, or in the sky in general,
Yeah, that's true.
like underwater. In if you're traveling somewhere where you can't survive, I mean, fuck, if you're on a cruise liner, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, you're just going.
Like,
I don't know. Actually, I think you're stopped and you're going with the waves.
yeah, yeah, you're going with like the current. I don't think that there's like a like wind. Sorry. Ooh, I don't think there's a wind solution for that.
No, not
I
for
mean,
like ocean
to
liners
be fair though, there are enough heroes. Probably there are probably still enough active heroes.
to have saved them.
Yeah, like over time. Like I mean, how long can people survive in the ocean on like one of those boats? Probably a while.
I mean, at least until the food runs out.
Yeah,
So pretty much a good majority of the universe is fucked.
yeah.
Who's thriving? Atlantis.
Is Atlantis thriving?
They don't have technology.
They don't have any kind of technology.
No.
Yeah, I guess any like civilization that is like not past the 18th century
Mhm.
is probably mostly okay.
I think Atlantis is doing fine. Oddly enough, I think Latveria is also doing fine
Yeah,
because he had them living like peasants anyway.
yeah.
The
I'm
Savage
booming it.
Land is the Savage Land. I think the mutants are thriving.
I mean, I don't know. The mutants actually rely on like a lot of technology now.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
It's all organic.
It's what do you mean it's all organic? Am I
It's
have I
all
like
organic.
have I missed something with the X-Men completely?
So you know they're teleporters.
Yes. The teleporters are
Those,
you telling me there's are they
those
mutant
are
powers?
organic. Like they plant a flower and the flower grows into the teleporter.
Fuck me. I don't I know nothing about the X-Men now. I try to catch up. It feels like every time I do, nothing makes sense.
Yeah, so like all the
In a week.
technology that the X-Men have, at least the current X-Men in the main universe is all organically grown through Krakoa.
Yeah. Well,
I
fuck.
don't know about this universe's X-Men because I don't know where in the timeline they're
I
in.
think we can assume that a lot of it is going to be fairly similar.
Okay, then I think the X-Men and the other mutants of
Yeah.
Krakoa. Yeah, I was gonna say Genosha too, but
Genosha too.
um
Classic.
yeah, I
Uh
think they're fine.
yeah, it's I don't know, like electricity is like such a ubiquitous thing and since we've had it for so long. Like it's a matter of I mean, if you have a pacemaker, you're fucked, right?
You can't
Or
steampunk that.
you can't steampunk a pacemaker. I mean, I don't actually know. I'll say this: I have no fucking clue how a pacemaker works. I'll take it back. You maybe can steampunk a pacemaker.
Could you like a steampunk pacemaker? I just
It
imagine
would have to be something that exists
how
outside.
everything
Yeah,
is just like, and you just have it like you would look like a
it
personalized hot rod.
it would have to be like a port, right, and
Yeah,
then an outside like valve system.
yeah.
But I have no fucking clue. I don't know.
And a valve right to your heart.
I mean, yeah. I
Ooh.
mean, we do stuff like that. We have like ports like and shit.
Yeah, but not for your heart.
I think that might not be true. I think we
Oh, that
might. I don't know. I'll be the first to say I have no idea. I'm not a doctor, but
damn. All these surgeries and everything that those are also done. Like
yeah.
now it really is back to the old way. Look. No
Look,
machine, just look.
sepsis is set in.
Off with the foot.
You're fucked. You know, off with the foot. You're about to lose your foot. I'm sorry. Oh man, holy shit, that's bad. The implications of this world were all like
That's
put to
fun.
the back of my head when Peter Parker was sitting by the fire. He's like, "Yep," and that's how things are happening now. And then
So
came Apocalypse, and he was just like smiling. He looked so happy, probably because his whole entire family's still alive.
now, could you imagine that it's all a subversion and Apocalypse is actually leading everybody?
I I can see that.
Like he's
I can
not
see Tom
actually the
Taylor
bad
doing
guy.
something like that. Yeah, I can see.
Like he's like yeah, like he's like
Yeah,
saving um Earth
yeah.
and showing people how to live.
It's like things are pretty bad. I'm gonna take over now.
Yeah, like I know how to survive in this, and I know how to show people how to survive in this.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't read a lot of apocalypse like stories, you know, like a lot of stories this is involved in.
Hmm.
Like, so the characterization for me could be anything. Like,
Yeah,
legitimately, like they could write him however they want, and I would be like, okay, yeah.
yeah, like he hasn't been
He's been
a,
in a lot of stuff.
a quote unquote villain. I want to say in the past 5 years.
Yeah. So it's kind
He's,
of like I'm cool with whatever.
I think longer than that. I think he
I
hasn't been a villain since in like 10 years.
I haven't heard of him in like a big story for. I mean, probably since the movie came out.
Mhm. The one we don't talk about.
I actually kind of liked X Men
I did
Apocalypse.
not. I did not.
I had fun. I understand it's a bad movie. I can understand it's a bad movie and still have fun. I
Mhm.
also had fun watching Batman v Superman,
Listen, that was a shit
understanding it's a
movie,
bad movie.
and Dark Phoenix was a shit movie.
I didn't see Dark Phoenix because I knew
But
it was going to be too bad for me to enjoy.
yeah, Emma Frost was an alien. Like no,
I could tell just from like the previews. I was like, oh no, they've done did something.
they did a thing.
They did a thing.
Getting away from Dark Ages because it's only the first issue.
Yeah. So the first issue,
Um,
we got a second issue of something. Something
uh,
special. Should we do a little talk about a little Son of Kal-El?
yeah,
Yeah,
you lead off.
we'll just jump around. Uh, this whole issue, the second issue of Son of Kal-El was fantastic because it focuses completely on him trying to figure out how he can live a kind of a normal life while being Superman, even though everyone knows who he is.
Yep.
So it starts off with him like getting this new identity, Finn Connors, and going to college, and immediately there's a gunman and he has to save everyone. So he immediately like burns the identity because like he's not gonna not save everyone, right?
Yeah, it was also weird seeing him drive to school in a Jeep.
It was very weird seeing him drive to school in a jeep. But also, I was like, oh, this could be like a fun little like thing that he does for a while, and then it was immediately gone.
Mhm. And
You know?
in issue number two, he raised a really big question to his father, where he just looks at him, why don't you do more?
Yeah, which is like a sick burn, and
But
he
that's
immediately
also
realized that it was a sick burn.
that's also the question with Superman, why don't you do more?
Yeah, and it's because
Like
he's
you
Superman doesn't see himself as like part of the Earth. He because he's one of them, but he's not one of them,
hmm
right? Like that Superman always sees himself as like the outside insider. Does that make sense? Like kind of it's he grew up as a human, but he'll never be human. Whereas
hmm
Jonathan Kent, like, is he's half human, half Kryptonian. Like this is his planet. Like This is where he's from, you know? So Superman's like, you can do more than I ever could because you can like relate more. You can lead, kind of.
Hmm.
I think that's where he kind of went with it. It's like I could never do as much because these people
View
like
me as an alien.
yeah, they will never truly see me as one of them. And this is kind of actually what Tom Taylor hit on in Injustice when Superman is like knocked out and having his dream sequence where his
Yep.
daughter survives. Like
Yeah, where it
she makes a
reunites
similar
the world.
speech where
Yep.
like she like goes and kind of saves the world in like a more hands-on way. So I think it's him playing out that idea. Um, it's kind of a beautiful moment because they're both on the moon. They're just like looking down at Earth, and they're talking about the kind of the things that we talked about in issue one,
Yeah.
if you remember, like where Superman, Jonathan Kent Superman, is talking about how he saw with Damien. He's like, I want to be more hands on. I want to fix the bigger problems.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just punch random guys because that's not helping.
I want to scare the bigger powers into not coming out at all.
Yeah. So like this whole issue was kind of reinforcing that idea, and it was Superman also saying, "I'm gonna be gone. Like I'm leaving because Superman's going off to do the War World stuff, right?
Hmm.
Um, and he's like, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna come back, but I need you to like watch the Earth. Like this
Yeah.
this world is yours. Like I got bigger fish to fry. Kind of was kind of where Superman went with it.
Yeah, and like,
Um,
it goes back to when he also had that talk with Nightwing where it's like, hey, look after my son.
yeah,
And then, then he's like, Superman looks to John and is like, if you feel like you need to step up and do more, do it. I
yeah,
trust you. He's like, okay, I need to give you the house key. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, the house key? And then he's like, no, 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 the big house key.
yeah.
Takes
No,
him to the Fortress of Solitude
right.
and gives him a new Superman suit,
Which looks better,
which is like it was the suit that he was going to give him if he if he aged time appropriately.
right? Do I have that in here? I'm trying to find it. Let's see. I might not. No, that's not in here. That's in the box. Anyway, it's more of a classic look than the pads that he had
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
I liked the suit that they had in issue one. I think the issue two suit looks better.
yeah, because it's more streamlined Superman.
Yeah, it's like it's not. Hey, it's Superboy in a suit. It's Superman.
Yeah, and that right there really did feel like a kind of passing off the torch
Yeah,
because he gave John a version of his suit
yeah.
to be
It's
recognized as Superman and
it's a
not be called Superboy.
super touching moment. It's a super touching moment. Also, you know, kind of fucked up that after Damien put on all that work, that Finn Connors only lasted like all of 3 pages. You know,
Hmm.
but you know, we'll see. But they also gave him a villain this issue at the very end. They gave him like his own kind of supervillain that we haven't seen before, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
This
President
super,
Henry Bendix.
yeah, this kind of like super rich. I don't even know how to describe him. He is the president of this country, like this micronation, it seems like, right? On the water. That's
Hmm.
super advanced technology. Like, and from the outside, seems like a
It's
paradise.
perfect. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
it seems like a utopia.
people he's seen from that country,
Yeah,
and so it was like, okay, you kind of ruined the aesthetic.
yeah. And now he's like vowing to kill Superman or some shit, which is
Yeah,
wild.
so
It's
that's
wild.
gonna be excited to see in issue number 3 coming
Yeah.
out this week, next week.
Yeah, it should be next week. Shit. That's exciting. But yeah, one more thing. He also got a new friend, maybe someone
Oh
new on
yeah,
his side. He got it was a kid from the college that he saved, who was running just by happenstance runs like the pirate radio station that he was listening to.
yeah, for the true news.
Yeah, which sounds like super cringe, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, and it was the kid he saved from the shooter at the school.
Yeah, he saved him from the school, and he was like he was just had himself planted on top of a roof. And when Superman landed, he's like, "Hey," and he's like, "How'd you know I was gonna be here?" It's like, I don't know. All right,
You know, I'm
I'll
looking
buy
forward
it.
to issue number 3.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to issue number 3. It was just as good as it was uh, the first issue.
Yeah.
And if you haven't read the first issue has been reprinted and has a shiny new cover. So go get it. It's
Speaking
great.
of new issues, new covers, and coming up, the weekly poll.
Oh, we're gonna do the weekly poll right now in the middle. All right, fine.
I mean, I feel like it's a good segue.
Yeah, sure. Hey, listen, I'm down with whatever. Let's talk about it. My big exciting thing for this week is Titans United, which do you know about this?
No.
It's a kind of intergenerational Titans team. Me,
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the cover right now.
yeah, it's gonna be very. Oh no, what did I do? There we go. It's an intergenerational Titans team. It looks like it's gonna be like all your faves in one comic. You got Superboy, you got Jason Todd, you got Hawk and Dove. It's kind of, to be fair, it's in part because the show is back. It's kind of
Hmm.
it's almost a show tie-in, but it's not like based on the show's world. Let's put it that way, because it's
Yeah,
all the characters that are in the show.
this is a unique Titans team
Yeah,
because there's never been a Titans team with both Jason Todd and Nightwing on the same team,
I don't think there has. Yeah, like I
and their play styles are really polar opposites.
yeah. Also, Superboy on there. I have
Mm-hmm.
to question now if that's the Superboy because of something that happened in Suicide
Suicide
Squad
Squad.
Annual. I have to question if that's even Superboy. I imagine it is, but like he's not even he's wearing like his old stuff now. That
Yeah,
could just be art direction.
I think it's just art direction,
Yeah.
but that is the original Superboy.
Yeah, it's like it's wild. Though.
Um, Another
But
one coming out this week is Eternals, Thanos Rising issue number 1.
yeah. We'll talk about that.
I have no idea about it. I read
So
the latest Eternals run that ran for 6 issues that brought back Thanos into the MCU.
yeah.
I'm not the MCU, the
I
Marvel.
I actually started reading that Eternals run as well.
It is great.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I was like, I'm into it.
Yeah,
I've never read Eternals before, like anything related. So it's a great entry point, at least to
yeah,
me.
the artist Dustin Weaver. Like I myself am becoming a shill of his because he's also done artwork for the Thor runs.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like that kind of like comic realistic look where like you see the sweat on them, you see the dilation of the pupils, and you just see the details in like their face
Ooh.
and bodies.
Yeah, very what's the word I'm looking for? Humanist. Kind of like just the uh focus on the form of the human body.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah. No,
I'm,
you we've talked about this. You really love Kingdom Come.
yeah.
You love that kind of like harsher, kind of almost a kind of gritty
Hmm.
look. Gritty
Yeah,
because
because
of the realism.
yeah, I like the realism when it comes to artists, when it comes to like comics and manga. Um, and also just the sharpness of the edges of the page and like the what's going on in the panels.
Yeah.
Another one coming out this week. Uh, Superman and the Authority issue number 3.
I thought it was issue. Is it issue 3?
Issue 3.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
need
issue 2
I need to
came
read
out.
issue 2. I think I didn't read
Issue
issue
2
2.
came out 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, that would explain it.
and he added 2 other power players to his new team.
Damn. Fuck. I'm excited to read more of that. It's a solid
Uh,
story.
Trial of Magneto issue number 2 is also coming out
Why
this
is
week
Magneto on trial?
because he killed
Explain
the
it to me.
Scarlet Witch.
Huh?
Yeah,
How how is this the first I'm hearing of this?
I think it was also released 2 weeks ago.
all these things are happening since we last talked. Well, I'm gonna need you to explain that when we're done with the weekly poll.
Yeah.
Also coming out, Seven Secrets issue 12, I believe. Yes, 12. Which is also a Tom Taylor comic
Yep.
that I think I talked about last time we were on because I blew through it in a night. I got caught up completely in one night because like the first volume is with Comixology Unlimited,
Hmm.
and it's really good. It's really different from most things that I've read in like the past couple years. So
Hmm.
it's a nice refresher. If you're looking for something different, go check out Seven Secrets.
And I know I brought it to you before we started. Batman Urban Legends number 7.
Fucking, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I'm looking at the cover right now.
It's a
Uh,
sick cover.
it's a sick cover.
Yeah. If you guys who are with us or will be with us, you could take a look at it.
Look,
It is Batman Beyond in like the first iteration of that suit with the cape.
yeah, I stuck it in the chat if you are with us right now. Uh, it is beautiful. It's just a beautiful cover. It has like bats flying around on the bottom, like with motion blur, sharp looking Batman. I can't tell if that's Bruce Wayne.
I don't know either.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. He looks too slim, but like then again, it could just be all the black.
It could be, or it could be Terry McGinnis.
Wait, it. Holy shit! In the 853rd century, Batman 1,000,000 is a warden that must contain the galaxy's criminals. But today, there's a breakout on Pluto.
What?
In Neo Gotham, Bruce Wayne lies murdered in the Batcave. Terry
Okay,
McGinnis.
okay.
Yeah, there's the thing. The read is that's fucking insane.
Yeah, because the Urban Legends has like 3 or 4 stories attached into it.
Yeah, these 4 stories are
Yeah, Bruce Wayne,
not connected to the previous urban legends.
yeah, Bruce,
Apparently,
Bruce Wayne lies murdered in the Batcave. Terry McGinnis, Bruce Wayne's final protege, will travel into the dark heart of Neo Gotham to find who killed the greatest hero the city ever knew.
that's just a cool looking Terry McGinnis.
Hold on 1 second. I have a call.
Okay. Sometimes we have a life outside of the podcast. You know, they catch in. I'll continue with the weekly poll while he's gone. We also have Fantastic Four Life Story. If you're unfamiliar with the Life Stories series, it basically follows characters growing up through the decades. The previous one was Spider Man, and it was awesome. I read through it from Cisco's um, suggestion,
Oh,
and
you talking about Life Story?
we're talking about Fantastic Four Life Story because the new issue's coming out of that this next week.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be caught up in the 2000s.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
I,
with
Because it
Reed
started in
Richards.
the. Did it start in the 60s or the 70s?
It started in the 60s.
All right, then yeah, it should be. It might be the 90s. I don't know. I think it might be only issue 4.
Okay.
But I could be
Um,
wrong.
and so it's Justice League: The Last Ride, issue number 5 is coming out this week as well.
Yeah.
Um, I Am Batman issue number 1.
Yeah. Issue 0 was good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but also like, let's see how this is gonna go.
I'm optimistic. I'm maybe unrightfully optimistic, but I'm optimistic. I think it's gonna be good. You know?
Um, Future State Gotham number 5 is also coming out this week.
Yeah.
Justice League issue number 67,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four issue number 35, which is also their 60th year anniversary.
Is it really?
Yep,
Holy fuck. That's that's a lot.
it's wild.
That's crazy.
But also, it's also been like what a few years ago was 75 years of Batman and Superman.
It's been 80 years of Batman
80
and
years.
Superman. I think that was it last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before, 2019.
Was it 2019? I think
And,
Batman and Superman had like I think Batman was actually after Superman.
mm,
So it
I
I
know on YouTube
Batman was
they had the generational videos of them going through like the different periods of suits and everything.
it's fucking
It's also
it's
been like 80 years for Spider-Man.
yeah. 80 years of Wonder Woman happened recently.
Yep.
I think that was this year actually. Um
Um,
Also, oh, you know what the most recent 80 years anniversary was? Green Arrow. That was like last month. And I didn't read it.
like the only Green Arrow runs that I've read is his are the Kevin Smith runs
Mhm.
because that's where we got Onomatopoeia, the villain. Uh, and like plus I like the way Kevin Smith wrote Green Arrow. It made it more palpable.
Yeah.
And then you know I know who he is, Oliver Queen, blah 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 blah. I watched Arrow.
Yeah, we all watched
Um,
Arrow. We all watched
um,
Arrow, okay? Don't get
and
to
then
brag about it.
I know now he's one of the leaders of Checkmate.
Yeah. I need to catch up on Checkmate.
And then I think the only other one I'm excited for coming out this week is Joker issue number 7.
Yeah. Not Kang the Conqueror number 2?
Oh shit, that's right. Fuck, I forgot.
I was like waiting. I'm like, see not?
I thought I
We
brought it
were
up already.
just talking about it before the
I
thing.
was. I think that's why I forgot about it because I already talked
You were
about it.
like, man, Kang the Conqueror. It was good, right? It was good. And then, like, you didn't even fucking bring it up. Yeah, that's
But yeah,
coming
no,
up.
like that first issue was a doozy. It was an older Kang coming back in time to teach a young Kang to not make the same mistakes.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mind fuck. Pretty
And then
good.
young Kang killed old Kang.
Yeah, that's why it was a mind fuck.
Yeah. Which like,
Oh,
the history of Kang the Conqueror in the comics is also just a weird, wild one.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we brought it up before when we were talking about Loki.
yeah.
Um,
We we we're gonna have to talk about what if a little bit at some point, but
oh yeah.
uh, let's well, before we end the weekly poll, Harley Quinn the animated series, the comic, the Eat Bang Kill tour is you can get it now. It's been available on DC's unlimited subscription thing
Oh yeah.
exclusively for the past month. Um, just wait, just wait for it to come out. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a pretty big like backlog, so if you're really want to dive deep into DC's thing, go ahead. It's not too expensive to get like the subscription. But if you want, just wait. It's a good comic. I read it like a month ago.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, you know what? I want to talk about Suicide Squad a little bit.
Suicide Squad annual.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad annual because it has like kind of just a wild twist that I guess you could kind of see coming, but like there was no reason to suspect it in this like way.
But when they announced it, it made sense.
Yeah, when they revealed it, I was like, oh, obviously,
Yeah,
because
because
we heard him, we saw him talking to fucking Tim Drake. I didn't even think about this.
mm-hmm,
We saw him talking to Tim Drake, in the urban legends that we talked about, where Tim Drake comes out as bi,
mm-hmm,
right? We saw him have a conversation with Connor, like
on the phone.
on the phone, and I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, well, obviously he's just talking to him from the Suicide Squad jail. Like,
No.
no, obviously not. And I feel really dumb now that I think about it. Like, cause I thought about it at the time. I was like, oh, that's weird. It,
Yeah,
it
Amanda
means
Waller
nothing.
getting phone calls.
Yeah, it turns out that the Superboy in Suicide Squad right now is not
Is
Superboy.
matched.
It's Match from the Young Justice animated series.
And also he appeared earlier in the comics in the 80s.
Yeah, uh,
He's supposed to be a stronger, faster, more agile Superboy.
yeah. It's fucking wild. Like I really, I'll say it. I really didn't see it coming. I mean, and I feel like I should have.
Yeah, because like
Everything
even
was there. Everything
Superboy,
pointed to it.
like the original Superboy even said it. Yeah, Amanda Waller knew she couldn't grab me without hell raining down on her.
Yeah, like it was the question that I kept asking. I was like, why is no one looking for
Superboy.
Connor Kent? Like
Like no one,
it makes no sense.
Superman, nobody, absolutely
I
nobody.
think we talked about it and we were like, maybe he got erased from people's memories again.
Oh,
I think we said that because it's like
yeah.
that would make sense. Why not?
And then at the end of the annual issue where Superboy and Superboy fight, and they find out that the Suicide Squad won its match, and he becomes all bizarrofied.
Yeah,
Um, this is a whole other. There's hundreds of them.
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so Suicide Squad has my attention.
Yeah, Suicide Squad, especially what they're setting up with this war between the Suicide Squads right now.
Yep, with Rick
I
Flag
with Rick
Suicide Squad.
Flag, I'm very excited. I just wanted to bring that up because I just read it before we
Mhm.
started, and it kind of I felt really dumb,
I did too.
which isn't fair. Like I mean, we had no reason to think that there was like another Superboy running around. We were just happy to see him back in his like shirt
Yeah,
uniform.
and like the not the
Like
classic look, but like the
the
2000
yeah,
Superboy.
the one that we recognize as
Teen Titans
Superboy.
Superboy.
Yeah, where but he's back. He went back. He's actually still in his classic look,
Yeah,
the Metropolis kid look, and it turns out that the Superboy isn't Superboy. Which mind fuck, complete
which
mind
like
fuck.
that's what I like to see in my comics because most of the time I can guess how shit's gonna go,
Yeah,
and when it just subverts everything, I'm like, I like this.
it's like I
I'm
know
a
something's
fan.
wrong, but I can't put my finger on what's wrong, and that's an enjoyable feeling.
Oh yeah,
I once you read comics for a while, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like you just see the patterns because they're tropes. There are a lot of comic tropes that are reused constantly.
yep,
Like it's not dead. Like this character who we saw the body but they're not dead. That happens
they're
all the
alive.
fucking time.
Yeah,
Even if we see the body at this point, it's like unless I have like conclusive proof, a DNA test, a bunch of shit, it might even be just Thomas Elliot doing crazy shit. Like
yep,
there's no there's no feasible way to know if a character is dead or not. Right?
yeah. And then there's just some characters where it's like If you bring them back, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Like Alfred, I don't want them to ever bring him back.
Yeah, unless like there's some like big universe shattering some bullshit that happens and like everything's being redone. I don't want it. But yeah, holy shit. It's nice.
Speaking of big universes that might be reset, shattered, broken, Infinite Frontier number 6.
Number 5 too. Uh we should talk about briefly because we didn't get to talk about it on the podcast. Basically, what happened in number 5, we find out that Roy Harper isn't a Black Lantern. He's an Omega Lantern,
Oh yeah,
which is something else.
he's like the key to something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be like the key to like Dark Side breaking into a higher level of existence. Like it sounds like he was gonna be like a hand or some shit. You know, like we had talked about before when we did our big DC recap
Mhm.
series. But yeah, I don't know where they're going with it, which excites the shit out of me because it's been a while since I've been at the beginning of a new line of DC editorial like reboots,
Mhm.
you know. Um, but yeah, that was like it was kind of a big twist. Like Darkseid is using was like using Roy Harper, which is a weird thing to say. Darkseid picking Roy Harper of all the people. Uh, and he's using him for some nefarious things. That's basically what happens in number 5. Number 6, which just came out this past week, we get some big reveals about the multiverse and the greater omniverse, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you want to dig into some of those?
Yeah, so basically in the multiverse, Darkseid appears in all of the Earths. Some way, some form he shows up, but it's all the one Darkseid. So Darkseid in Injustice, not Injustice, Infinite Frontier, he killed all the other versions of himself or coalesced them into the one true Darkseid.
Yeah, I think what he said was all my past versions combined into one ultimate version, and the quintessence, like what we saw at the uh,
Yeah,
Infinite
Ganthet,
Frontiers
Groot,
issue 0.
um,
They
the
talked to Wonder
Stranger, the
Woman.
Phantom Stranger.
Yeah,
Yeah, he killed them.
these he killed them because they saw it and they tried to imprison him here on Earth Omega, but Earth Omega uh, actually has something there which
Yeah,
helped him
it's like it's the
ascend.
original crack in the multiverse, which leads to the omniverse.
Yeah,
And Darkseid was trying to use Flash and Roy Harper, Black Lantern, to take control of it, to have all of the multiverse kneel to his will.
yeah. Barry Allen Flash, by the way.
Yeah, Barry Allen's Flash. This is why Barry Allen has like kind of been missing from a lot of things, and
Yeah,
I think will be continue to be missing from a
until
lot of things.
2022. It sounds like.
Yeah, because Obsidian, releases Roy Harper from the influence of the Black Lantern ring, or I'm just gonna call it the Omega ring now.
Yeah, you should. It's what it is.
Um, they in Infinite Frontier throughout the whole of it, they brought back the Justice Society, and Flashpoint Batman.
Which, you know what? I'm all for this character getting a redemption arc.
Yeah, because like he realizes he went about things the wrong way. Surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
he understands that he was a crazy fuck. I'm all for it.
And then they Superman, President Superman, kind of saves the day,
Yeah,
and he breaks the giant
hamster wheel.
the yeah the
It's a
giant
fucking
hamster
hamster
wheel.
wheel that Barry
The,
Allen's running on.
yeah, the omniversal treadmill, because
It's
there's a
his
multiversal one. I'm gonna call it the omniversal one.
That sounds great. I mean, Barry Allen's one weakness is round things that he can run on forever.
Yeah, so he saves him from there. It breaks apart. Um,
Barry shoots
somewhere.
off. Yeah, he's running so fast. Like at this, Barry Allen's been running for 5 issues now. Like he hasn't stopped. He's been speeding up for 5 issues. He's shot off into the Omniverse. It seems like
Yeah,
he's
and
in a
now
different multiverse.
uh now Darkseid is kind of defeated. The
Yeah,
the ring no longer works. And he's kind of sulking right now, and Psycho Pirate, I guess, is keeping all of his upgrades.
Psycho Pirate dipped so hard,
Yeah, no, he's like, I'm needed in another event.
which I thought was the most ominous fucking thing Psycho Pirate could ever say. I'm needed in another event is like, oh shit, there's gonna be more horrible, like world ending things about to happen.
Darkseid then, which no, Darkseid's Omega beams were always red. There's a black one, just looks that much more menacing.
Yeah,
He kills Machine Head from President Superman's universe.
yeah.
Then he blasts all the heroes away with his Omega beams.
Yeah.
He sends them to their original universe.
Once Barry Allen leaves, Darkseid kind of goes, all right, today's fight is over. And then he basically like shoots everyone back to where they came from, which was, I don't know. It's always more menacing and concerning to me when the villain doesn't give a shit and like will just be like, I'm going to send you home instead of killing you.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, none of you are even
Yeah,
registering to me right
you're
now.
not a threat. Come on,
Like,
what are
I
you
lost
talking
my
about?
prize. I'm gonna take that L, but I'm gonna need some space. Get away from me.
Yeah. But yeah, Roy Harper is no longer bound to the ring. That's another thing. Like, Darkseid just picks it up, gives it to someone else. I can't really recognize who this character is. I'm having a hard time. I feel like that might be Extract, but I can't tell. The This character. Is that
Oh,
supposed to be Extract, like the agent?
for
Uh,
Bone.
yeah,
Yeah, that's her in another universe.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I couldn't tell just from like that tiny panel, but Darkseid kind of gets its forces together and brings back all of these new gods and
Yeah, he Kobach is there. Granny Goodness. Desaad.
yeah,
What's the other dude? The Steppenwolf
yeah. That's that's the one I was trying to remember the name of.
and Grail, his daughter.
Yeah,
Which is surprising because the last time we
I
saw her,
haven't seen her in years.
she was like she killed him and
Yeah,
then brought him back as a baby.
yeah. I think what they're doing here is basically Darkseid even says it. He's like, we fought a lot. It's the time for that is in the past. The past is in the past. I'm whole again, kind of like
And then it kind of shows off to like these other villains that have like appeared in some of the other issues. Like I don't know who the guy with the horns is. I have no idea who the fuck that dude is.
he's spooky as fuck. He's sitting on like he's sitting on a destroyed city, like using these buildings as a throne.
Yeah, and there's the Upside Down Man. He was in the Justice League Dark issues. He's
Yeah.
kind of like the primordial user of magic.
Who's this elf dude? I can't remember.
Um, I think his name is Obsidian.
Is that he's also named Obsidian?
Not Obsidian.
I was about to say, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's 6
that'd be insane.
he is Calypso. That's his name.
Okay, yeah. From a
Yeah,
writing perspective, to have two characters named Obsidian in the same like issue of a comic
yeah,
is insane.
yeah. So I think that's Calypso, and then now the Black Lantern dude, Death.
Yeah, it,
Uh,
it's it seems like all like the big like bands are coming together. Like Not like the Earth big bad's like the universal. Hey, we eat planets kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like,
And then Darkseid just goes off with like, I'm not the only one who seeks this power, but only I would control the great darkness.
and you have a whole fucking page that's just black. Which, I mean, I thought this was cool as shit.
Oh yeah. And then the epilogue shows Barry on Earth, on another Earth,
On another multiverse,
Multiverse 2.
which implies like this was like the big thing for me because this implies that we didn't like reboot the multiverse. Like
We just
mul-
went to another multiverse.
multiverses have been getting destroyed every crisis, is what it seems like.
Yeah, because it said there that this is the original multiverse.
Yeah,
This is the one the Anti-Monitor destroyed in the first crisis.
yeah, it's so insane to me. Like I don't know that this was ever has ever been revealed before. Like maybe it has. Maybe I'm just like not read up enough on this one, but like seeing this the big wheel of Earths just destroyed. It's crazy. This multiverse 2 shit is insane. Also Pariah is there.
Yep, he's back.
That one was like I'm like is this who I think it is? And he's like my name is Pariah and it's like holy shit. We're bringing him back and then Barry like basically turns to does the whole thing where he turns to a skeleton again.
Yep, and then he gets to like Earth Flash .1
Yeah,
with like they're a happy family.
I'm so fascinated by the implications of Earth Flash
Yeah, and then
because
it's like we will all be happy no matter what. Which
to be
that's
continued
a
in
threat.
2022.
That's a threat. I don't care what
It's
anybody
so
says.
fucking
It's a
threat.
threat.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, 2022 is gonna be, I think, another big publishing push year for DC. Um.
2022 is going to be a big year for comics, Marvel, and DC
Yeah.
as a whole, not
As a whole.
and their other properties.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it's crazy.
yeah, because another thing that I wanted to bring up, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, just in terms of like what DC's been doing lately, kind of shuffling out the old guard and putting
Mhm.
in these new heroes in like prominent positions, like Nightwing for Batman, uh, Jonathan Kent for Clark Kent,
Superman,
Superman. Like they're basically taking like their two biggest heroes and
and
putting them a little bit on the back burner,
yep,
or like making them focus on like galactic threats while they leave like the second generation to deal with it,
to
which
deal with things.
I think by in my personal opinion this is what I wanted from comics for a while.
Mhm.
I've told you, and I think I've mentioned on the podcast, like what I want is the next crisis to be driven by this younger generation of heroes. I don't I want like the old guard to be kind of like fucked a little bit, like to
Yeah,
the point where they can't do as much and they're not the ones who save the day in the end.
yeah, and the new guard, the ones with the shiny uniforms,
Yeah.
they're the ones that save it.
I want these, I mean, I hesitate to even call them kids because most of them have been around since the 60s. Like I want them to like take more prominent positions.
Hmm.
Like and we're seeing it happen. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2022.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2022 either. Like there's a lot going on.
And then out of Infinite Frontier, we're also getting Justice Incarnate
Yeah, in November.
in November.
Yeah, where we're gonna talk more about like what's going on with Darkseid. I think it's gonna be them like chasing down the
Leads for this event,
yeah. It's gonna be
which
leading
I'm
into this
all
event.
for.
You'll see like Justice League still dealing with all their stuff instead of Justice League being like the tie-in to like the big event.
I think just
I
the
think Justice League
Incarnate is gonna
Incarnate
be it.
will. It makes sense. It's because you don't want like Justice League constantly dealing with like these crazy multiversal things because it's going to be jarring to people.
Yeah, let's give the Justice League a break and focus on these other characters and bring more of their side stories
Yeah.
to light.
Let the Justice League deal with like big Earth threats and even
Yep.
universe threats. Let the multiverse threats be dealt with by like a team that focuses on multiversal threats, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
No, just to like in the lead up to 2022, we've gotten two announcements from the PlayStation Showcase, which has me hyped to all hell.
Yeah.
It has me hyped and worried.
Why worried?
So hyped because of Spider-Man number two.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see Miles Morales, Peter Parker,
Yeah. I,
facing off what I believe is Craven the Hunter.
I think it's all but confirmed that it's Craven the Hunter. It feels very obviously Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, Craven the Hunter and Venom,
Yeah.
which I'm so stoked about because I believe they're gonna be weaving in Craven's
Craven's
Last
Last
Hunt,
Hunt.
which I brought it up
Very
to
dark.
just that point. I brought it up to one of my friends, Justin, who was like, that is a really dark Spider-Man arc.
Yeah. I don't think they're
Where
gonna. I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna have to take some things from that comic because it's Craven's like, it's his big fucking thing. It's what everyone talks about when they talk about Craven.
Yeah, and it's also Craven's send off
Yeah.
because after that, Craven the Hunter isn't Craven anymore. It's his son.
Yeah.
Because he kind of like eats a shotgun.
Yeah. It's dark as shit. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a suicide like hotline thing in the game if they go that way.
I mean,
I doubt they'll go that way.
I would love to see it because that is one of my favorite Spider-Man arts.
I mean, we would all love to see them like go super dark, but I can't imagine PlayStation going, "Oh yeah, this is one of our like
Yeah, I
big
mean, like,
releases. Like we're gonna let you take the risk on this one."
and like they're already tweaking it because they're introducing Venom in this,
Yeah,
which didn't happen in the comics. Spider-Man did wear a black suit in this arc, but it wasn't Venom.
yeah. I mean, and
Spider-Man,
Venom is gonna be Harry Osborn.
yeah. So I mean, as far as we know,
We gotta assume that just based off of the end credits from Spider-Man One.
yeah, but like it was also like the the
He was
Venom answering Craven's call
he was
for a hunt.
covered in Venom. Yeah.
So I think that was like Peter's Venom
Ooh,
or Miles.
I
Miles' Venom,
you know what would be like really subversive if neither of the Spider-Man get attached to the symbiote
and it's just Harry.
and it's just Harry. That'd be super subversive to what everyone expects. And you know what? You know why they won't do it? Because it'd be super disappointing for gameplay reasons.
Like the way I see the game running is either one of two ways. One where you could switch off between either Spider-Man at any point in the game. Like if you want to go more stealthy, whatever, you go by Miles, and if you're going in for the grounded pound, you're going as Peter. Or you pick one Spider-Man for the game and you play as Peter, like let's say your first round through the game is Peter.
I'll tell you
You
this
have
right
your
now: 0% chance.
like you have your own choices as Peter to go through the game, you blah 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 blah. And then when you're on your second playthrough, you can go by Miles and it's tweaked for Miles's run for the story.
Hmm.
And let's say in Peter's run, he gets the suit. In Miles's run, he gets the Venom suit.
I'm gonna tell you right now: there is a 0% chance they don't let you play as both throughout the game.
I know.
There's a 0% chance that I think that's a cool way to do it. Personally,
Mhm.
I was it's funny because I was playing Dishonored 2 while this announcement was being made, and that's a game that actually does it that way, where
Yeah,
you pick a character at the beginning and you have different
with
power skill
that
sets,
character.
and
Yep.
you play through the whole game of that character. And it's a little tweaked and you know different, and then like you get different choices and everything. It's nice. Uh, go play it. But Like, I can't imagine them going and showing them both in that trailer because everybody wants to do. No, nobody wants to get stuck into like one track,
One of them, yeah.
especially when you're playing like your favorite characters. Like, you want to be able to like play them both.
Yeah,
You know,
it would be interesting though
it'd be
that if
very interesting.
also I brought it up with my buddy Justin because when it all came out he was the person I was on the phone with.
Yeah.
Um, it'd also be interesting for co-op wise if you pick one, your buddy could pick Miles.
Holy fuck! If this game had co-op, Cisco, I would lose my goddamn mind if there was a
Like
co-op option for this Spider-Man
like
game.
that would be great.
That would
And
be so fucking cool and not super outside of the realm of
possibility.
possibility. Like I would heavily doubt it
Yeah.
because that's just not what Sony works on
Yeah, and like
right now.
that's also why like I don't like that because the Spider-Man game and Spider-Man Miles Morales, I like those because they were single player games.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of optional co-op.
Hmm.
Like where a game like doesn't have to be co-op to be enjoyable,
Yeah,
you know? But I would love the option if you have two main characters anyway, right?
have that option be there.
If there's gonna be a fucking AI in there playing the other character, let me
Hmm.
just have my buddy like fucking grab a
Yeah,
controller and play it. If it's not like crazy, let me just have my buddy grab a controller and play it.
yeah, and so
I mean, an open
Insomniac,
world game is difficult with that though.
yeah, so Insomniac, I'm really excited with them with Spider-Man because they already have the other two games. But
Yeah,
then I'm also worried
you're worried.
because Insomniac announced that they're also doing the Wolverine game.
Yeah, tell me why you're
Um,
worried. Go
because
on.
this goes back to my hopes and aspirations for Cyberpunk 2077 with CD Projekt Red.
Okay, I see. They have such a good track record that you think.
With they had a great track record
I
with
understand.
Witcher 1, 2, 3 was a masterpiece.
Yeah, the best
Like
games that have ever been made.
I went back and started playing it again last week.
Yeah,
That game, Witcher 3, is an amazing work of art.
it's near perfect.
Combat style, storyline, everything. It is a complete package of a game.
Yes, and with the two
Um,
DLCs, it's like three games.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
well, two games.
I don't want to say they fucked it up with Cyberpunk 2077, but
They
they
fucked it
fucked
up.
it up.
Yeah, that's a very that's not a controversial opinion.
Um, and that's why I don't like. I have hopes for Wolverine because it's Insomniac games,
You don't want to get too
and
excited.
I don't want to get too excited.
Here's my concern for Wolverine because I have concerns, but not for the reasons why you do. I think when I hear Wolverine, I don't hear a lot of mobility. So if it's an
So,
open world game, what's he doing? Is he riding on a hog?
so,
Like,
I-
what's the plan? That would be my thing. Like, where's it taking place? I need to know the
so
setting before I'm like fully bought in.
I'm gonna call the setting right here, right now.
Nevada.
Madripoor,
Okay. Interesting.
because because it was only a 50-second video. I have to like suck in like as much of that video
Uh
as I
huh.
can. The bar is called the Princess Bar.
Mm-hmm.
That is Wolverine's bar in Madripoor.
Huh.
There's also a poster of "Welcome to Madripoor" on the bar.
Okay. Then I think that you're probably really fucking right.
And then also there's an eye patch in front of Wolverine in the bar, and whenever he's in Madripoor, he goes by Patch.
He goes.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see Wolverine in Madripoor. I do believe,
I think that's a good choice.
uh, I do believe that he is gonna be on a motorcycle
Yeah. I mean,
because like
that's just it's what you
yeah,
want to see.
like you said, like mobility in Wolverine, it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Um,
Like my main concern with superhero games like that, like it's why I don't worry about Batman or Spider Man when those are announced. I'm like, okay, yeah, they have very
grappling hook. Yeah,
grappling hooks, web slinging. It's
yep.
fast. You can get around.
They're
Batman
very
has a
mobile.
Batmobile. If it's not that, like there's historical things like that we can point to where it's like, okay, yeah, this is how they get around. It makes sense. It's easy. A city's fine.
Yeah, but Wolverine doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, Wolverine doesn't have any of that, so I need to understand, like, is it going to be like a smaller setting, which I'm totally fine with. I'm fine
Mm-hmm.
with a smaller realized set of levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like well designed levels that aren't huge are perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be a sprawling metropolis. I assume that they're going to do a sprawling metropolis anyway.
Have you played Sleeping Dogs?
I love Sleeping Dogs.
I wouldn't mind if they do it like that.
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like the way he gets around is by cars, motorcycles, whatever. Almost kind of like Grand Theft Auto style.
I'm just wondering at what point, like, is it Wolverine as like the X-Men superhero Wolverine, or is it Wolverine like Logan, like a little bit grittier? And I hope that they go a little bit grittier so we don't have to go into like the um ridiculousness of Wolverine running around in his costume in Madripoor, like,
I
you
think we're
know.
getting
I
Logan.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna get Logan because I think that's what most people most recently associate Wolverine,
Yeah,
right? Like it's the last thing that most people have saw of Wolverine.
yeah. So
Um,
that is why I'm like excited, but like also like on the side of caution about
yeah,
Wolverine.
I wouldn't mind him like just doing vendetta shit, like taking down
Yeah,
crime lords kind of deal. Like that would be, I would love that kind of shit.
like say I feel like Sabretooth is going to make an appearance in the game, but I don't think he's going to be a main villain.
Yeah, I
I
mean
would.
we're stretching real big
Yeah.
with like all of these things with grain of salts.
Um. Yeah, and I just think it's going to be him dealing with the underworld of Madripoor.
Yeah, that
And
sounds fun.
I feel like it might also be a game where you take control of Madripoor zone by zone as Wolverine,
Yeah,
and until Madripoor is yours.
and Ubisoft, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Um.
Like that's a kind of game that I can like zone out and have fun.
Yeah.
I
Um.
I I I think for Wolverine, it's either you go on rails a bit, you have like a kind of more linear like levels and storytelling,
Mhm.
or you do what you just said and you give us like things to conquer and like less linear but still pretty directive,
Yeah.
you know.
And then also my favorite announcement of the PlayStation showcase. Been waiting for it since 2018. Uh,
Gonna murder me for it, yeah.
God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
all of these are coming out for PS5, so I
So,
am gonna murder you for them.
well, you could just wait a year. There'll be more.
Are there?
I mean, I'll be honest. To get my PS5, I just grabbed a. I did like for a week. I When I knew that they were going to be drops, I just stood by my phone and my computer, and I refreshed and I hit the thing until I got one in the cart, and then I logged in,
Hmm.
and it worked out. It wasn't so hard. I didn't have to go anywhere. It came to
Yep.
my house.
Yep.
Like, but
I have
if
one.
you don't want to do that, you know where I live
Yeah.
for the next like couple
I have
weeks.
one in the cart right there behind your head that will
Right.
be off your shoulders.
Damn, dude. That's
Um,
cold.
I'm joking.
For
I'm
now,
joking. I'm joking for
until it
now.
comes closer to release.
But God of War Ragnarok,
Yeah, it's fucking exciting.
which like we have an older Atreus.
Yeah.
We got all these like character printouts of
The
Big Thor.
the Thor one, I was like, man, finally a character I can cosplay.
Dude, that's my exact words.
Yeah, it's fucking
Um,
sick.
we're getting the classic roster from the previous God of War game.
Yeah,
Freya just attacking in the
everyone's
trailer.
back. Everyone's back, and everyone's angry.
And then we got Angrobata too, the future wife of Loki.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's fucking cool.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. The
You
the,
should
the
be.
enemies that they showed, centaurs.
Ion fucking
as-
texted me. She's like, "It's called Ragnarok," and I'm like, "We knew this though, right? We knew it was
yeah,
called Ragnarok,
yeah,
right?"
God of War Ragnarok. Yeah.
I was like super confused. I'm like, "Is that all they showed?" Because again, during the entire PlayStation conference, I was streaming something else
Hmm.
because I've been waiting. I've been prepping for Deathloop,
Oh yeah, that was another
which
one that came out.
comes out on Tuesday, and I'm gonna be streaming that here. Um, but I was doing Dishonored, and like I was doing all the Dishonoreds this past week, and uh, I didn't even know that there was a PlayStation event happening.
Hmm.
So when I got off, I had like a couple texts from Anna, and she's like, oh my god, it's called Ragnarok, and look at this fat Thor." And like immediately, like I got all these like screenshots of the cast.
Characters, yeah.
Fucking amazing looking.
Yeah, fucking Chunky Thor.
Chunky
I'm
Thor.
loving him. Chunky.
Okay.
Angrobata I love, and like I'm just excited to see the story.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
excited to throw that axe again.
oh yeah.
Mm. With the haptics, ooh,
I'm
I just
so
got
excited.
chills. I'm fucking pumped.
I'm so excited for 2022 and 2023 because the
Yeah,
next 2 years belong to PlayStation.
yeah. I mean, until those Bethesda games come out, PlayStation is golden.
And another one that came out that I looked into and I'm looking forward to, Forspoken.
I didn't see it. I'm not completely caught up on the event. What? Tell me about it.
Yeah, Forspoken is like it's basically an isekai.
Uh
It's like
huh.
an isekai was like, person gets summoned into a fantasy world, they get powers and they become OP. Again, it's like this. I don't remember her name from the trailer, but she enters into the world
She.
and
Huh.
yeah,
Nice.
and it's like you deal with magic, you deal with everything, whatever, but also like the mechanics of movement in the game are just so smooth.
Ooh, shiny.
Like I'm just excited to like be doing parkour and everything again
Oh, it's a
because
Squeenix game.
fucking Assassin's Creed has kind of let me down with their parkour.
Yeah, in the past
Um,
couple.
yeah, the height of the parkour was Assassin's Creed Unity, and then they took away the buildings from me. They said, "Yeah, no, you're going on flat land in Egypt." Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You did Egypt, flat land in Greece.
I don't know. Hey, Greece had a lot of like really vertical cities and stuff.
Yeah, they had vertical cities, but none of them were past.
Not they weren't comparable. I agree. You're right.
And then Valhalla was like, okay, cool, 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 cool. Your biggest buildings, churches. It's like, dude.
To be fair, that was also the biggest buildings in Unity.
I mean, yeah, but Unity also had like the close
No,
together
I know what
city
you mean. I'm
already.
fucking with you. Yeah, I'm with you. There hasn't been like a heavy parkour game in a while. That's why I'm looking forward to. Oh my god, what am I? Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2 is a big, exciting game. I'm looking forward to it. I hope I can find people to play with. It'll be fun. Um, but yeah, I know you have like a hard out soon.
Yep.
But I want to briefly touch on the thing I sent you this past week, the webtoon. The webtoon. The DC has an official webtoon now, and it's cute as shit.
Batman Wayne family.
It's so wholesome. Like, it's on the webtoon app. It's like the official webtoon app, and it's getting like front and center showcasing from them. But
Yeah. And so I love the webtoons.
it's a slice of life.
But also there's a dude on TikTok called the Panda Red who his content is the slice of life.
I think I
And
know what you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, didn't he recently get a Red Hood like
Yeah.
helmet? Yeah, yeah, I saw.
Yeah, his content has been all of this, and like it's great to see it in comic form.
Yeah,
Um, but also, he kind of did start that for me, and like, he's still where I'm gonna be getting most of this. So if you're watching this live or watching it later, check out the Panda Red on TikTok.
yeah.
And he,
Support comic creators everywhere in all the mediums
yeah,
because there are a lot of them, and some of them aren't great.
hmm
When you see a good one, shout them out.
yeah, Panda Red.
And a red. I
All right,
enjoyed the shit. But yeah, I think you have to go now, right?
yes, sir.
So I think we'll call it here. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll be back next week. I don't know what. I
Yeah,
don't know. We'll be back next week with another topic. Maybe an actual topic this time.
yeah. Instead of
Uh,
like this big catch up.
yeah. Even though these are really fun, I really enjoy these, but we'll see.
Yeah, next week. Favorite, fuck,
Side characters?
favorite side characters.
Yeah, we'll talk about the supporting actors of comics. All
Yep.
right.
Your J. Jonah Jamesons, your Alfreds,
Yeah.
your Keelix from the Fortress of Solitude, Lois Lane.
Basically, if they've been a girlfriend to a superhero, we'll
They
talk
fit in
about
this
them.
category.
Yeah. But thanks for watching, guys.
All right, cool. Catch you guys next week.
Peace.